So crossing off a Universal Orlando bucket list item, we talk to show director Blake Braswell live from the Radio Broadcast Center at Universal Studios, Florida. You are listening to episode 391 of the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Hey everyone, I'm your host for this one, I'm Lee, and I am very proud to be sat looking out at Universal Studios Florida, kind of freaking out right now. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
You heard him there. Not only is it me here, but I am joined by Darren.
What's up, Internet?
And Tracy.
Hello, everyone.
And Chris.
Hey.
For the first time all in the same room.
Yeah.
It's
Yes,
so
we are.
bizarre.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And what room is this, though? I mean, that's
It is
cool
the
thing.
Minion Mayhem Studio.
Oh.
Awesome. That's just for Andy DiGenova, by the way. But as I said there, it's not just us. We are joined by good friend and Blake. I think we've had you on more than anybody else at this point. You must be our most recurring guest.
Yeah, it's been a few times. It's always a fun time. But now we're doing it live.
And it's awesome.
This is so great.
Yay.
But yeah, because we are here for Mardi Gras, basically. Tracy, you finally twisted. See, Blake,
It's amazing.
it did happen. It wasn't when it was supposed to be, but we did happen.
I remember the arm twisting that occurred.
A lot of arm
Yeah.
twisting, and it's been amazing. Everything I wanted it to be, and more.
You came to
So-
a good one.
We certainly did. Very, very happy. So now it's just Christmas I need.
Boom.
Lee.
Don't worry, I'll save that arm twisting for the end of the episode. Yep, I
Thanks,
got you.
Blake.
I got you covered.
Excellent.
So, of course, yeah, we're just going to talk to Blake about this year's event.
So, yeah, this is the 25th year of Mardi Gras at Universal Orlando.
That's right.
It's mine and Lee's first visit. Finally. It is awesome. Really enjoyed it, aren't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So, Blake, would you give us an overview of what people can expect from this year's event?
So, being that it's the 25th, the way we approached it is we wanted to. We always do a different theme every year, right? So,
Yeah.
like, we always have 6 floats that we change over. And there, last year we had our party animals theme, and so for this year, we really wanted to take a theme that would be a big party, and then make sure that it fit within sort of this 25th celebration that we're doing for 25 years of Mardi Gras. So then it also gives an opportunity for like our traditional floats, like the tidal floats, our river boats, and our gator floats to also do something new with those floats as well. Give them in the case of King Gator, he gets a full like workover. So we went with Treasures of the Deep is our theme for the year, because for us, Mardi Gras has always been it's like this treasure. People talk a lot about Halloween, they talk a lot about the holidays, but for those of us who've worked on Mardi Gras, like, we love it. And like the cast that shows up to audition every year, like, they have so much fun doing it. It's just it's because the gig is you're literally like going out to have a party, to have a good time. It's a blast to do.
Yeah.
Like when you walk in the gate, the background music is already playing across the entire park of Mardi Gras music and stuff. So it's just, you can't like be in a bad mood. And so we were like, this thing's a treasure. So we went down to Kern Studios, and those are the folks who've been building floats for the Mardi Gras Parade in New Orleans since like the 30s, It's crazy if you go there, because they just have warehouse after warehouse after warehouse of all their props, right? And that's like this, like the stuff you see on the floats, like the big coral skull, and stuff they have, like the big treasure chest, or the big pirate face on my favorite float, the Battle for the Booty, best named float in the parade.
Yes.
But like those pieces have all been in Mardi Gras parades in New Orleans from a few years ago to decades ago, and so they're actually here on the floats now. So we had the idea of the treasures, and we were kind of seeing all this stuff, and there was this like fun pirate stuff. So what if we actually have like a this thing is an adventure? Like, what if we try to actually tell a story with this? And Kern was really excited because they've never had a parade tell a story. We've never had our parades tell a story, or as far as the Mardi Gras parade is concerned. So we found they had a bunch of stuff that kind of alluded to like a map. So that's when we started setting on the idea of like, well, let's start the theme stuff off with like an actual treasure map, where if you look at the float, everything you're going to encounter on the adventure is on it. Like there's like a painting or pieces or props of like the next float, which would be the Creatures of the Deep float. So you can follow the map around and see the adventure it takes you on. So then you go to the Creatures of the Deep, then it takes you down to the sunken city of Atlantis, and like the treasures are all amethyst or emeralds or gold, so it's all the colors of Mardi Gras. And then it's like, well, but then they're pirates, right? So like you're gonna get shipwrecked somewhere. So you got to have a shipwreck one, and then you got to fight over it. Hence the Battle for the Booty, and actually have sword fighting pirates on there. And then you know, X marks the spot, ends it with all the big, you know, fire blasts and celebration with all the gold and jewels collected into one final float. So it actually tells, you know, a story the whole way through.
That is so cool.
I thought so.
So cool.
Yeah, I was pretty excited about
Yeah.
it. Like, especially when folks like Kern, who've been doing this now for so long, when they're going, oh, we haven't done that before. So they got excited about the idea. So then when we worked with their designer, he was so on board, sent us a bunch of stuff. Then our designer, Curtis Hopkins, tweaks some things, sends it back. They kind of go back and forth a little bit, you know, as we like work on the designs together and stuff. But and then of course you loop in like our costume designer, David Nadolski, and the costumes they're so awesome this year. I absolutely love them.
Yeah.
My Kraken and the octopus,
Yeah.
they make me happy.
And was doing a story something you saved for 25? Had you thought about it before, or was it like we got to go all out this year?
Literally in New Orleans with all the pictures of the stuff and the notes we had taken from the warehouses, we were back at the hotel and I was like going through stuff, and it literally was I saw a treasure map out there. I wonder if we could do a map, and that was like, wait. Usually we wait and do the order of the floats kind of later because it's a theme, and then we just look and go, okay, well, you know, this one does this, so let's you know, this color is this, so we won't have similar, so we won't put them beside each other. I was like, let's just do it now, and it's like an order, it's like a story, and it's all in the treasure map, and that's literally where that started. That was in New Orleans officially that idea popped up.
That's where you should do it at. I mean, if you're gonna do it anywhere, New
Exactly.
Orleans.
Absolutely, yeah.
Definitely.
And we're going to do it in a few weeks. So we've already booked flights to go back to New Orleans to work on
Nice.
2021 in a couple of
so
weeks.
jealous.
For 3 weeks. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You're not doing me any favors right now, Blake. You know, someone else wanting to come back next year.
Come on. Because it's going to be good.
The problem is, it's the word come back. I just don't want to leave.
Well, just
That's
stick
the
around.
problem. You know.
Just stick around. You do this, hang out for the summer, do Halloween,
Yep.
see the holidays, and then bam, you're already here for Mardi Gras.
Exactly.
He's saying to move. That's what
Yeah.
he's saying. Yeah.
That would be the dream. Yes.
That's it. Just move. All right, so the street performers, parade, and event overall at this year's event have a pirate theme. It's awesome and a little different, and we talked about it a little bit, but if you can talk a little bit more about the inspiration from this year's, event.
Well, so like I said, the initial kernel was like the whole idea of like this event's a treasure to us, and then idea of like, well, who hunts for a treasure? And I was like, oh, pirates, which has a double joy for me because I went to East Carolina University, and that's where I got my degree in theater, and they are purple and gold and home of the fighting pirates. So like with Mardi Gras being purple, gold, and green, I was like, this is awesome. My mom also that's her alma mater as well. So I was really excited when the announcement came out. So, and I didn't say a word to that to the designers, but when the costume designer laid down one of the pirate outfits, and he's, laden in purple and gold, I was like, approved. That's great.
That's an easy one.
Yeah. And, I love bad pirate jokes. So there's also that as well.
We know all
Yes.
about your dad jokes.
Well, look, here's the thing. And that is actually, so Easter egg, when you come out, ask the performers that are out there, all the parade performers, because, a few hours prior to the parade, they're out in the street doing like dance parties and street parties and stuff. The thing I gave them at the end of rehearsals was, you have to find as many bad dad pirate jokes as you can and bring them to me. And there have been some truly awful ones. It's wonderful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And those street performers this year, we had a blast with them the other night. They were so good.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
quite a few actually, haven't we?
Yeah, the trick, like you want to, come early and come hang out with them. It's like the street parties are a total, to me, they are my favorite thing. The parade is fantastic, and we have so many people that work together to make it really on parade. But like for me personally, it's the one-on-one interactions in general that we do here at Universal. I love so much. So that's my favorite part, because you will see like I think I talked to you about this on maybe we talked about Mardi Gras last time back when you were in the UK, but about how they'll play with some kids out in the street doing a dance party or whatever, and then a few hours later they're doing the parade and they'll see that same kid out there in the front row waving, trying to catch beats, whatever. They make eye contact and they recognize each other, run over there, and then like these moments get created that just make a vacation.
Oh,
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, as somebody who's been coming for years to Mardi Gras, we were just talking about this yesterday, how every time you see a street performer, they are in the best mood. They're having the best time. They're not faking it. You can tell they're having an amazing time. And it's just such a good vibe that they bring to this event. It also feels a little bit like, the scare actors on the streets during Horror Nights. It's just a different event that they're doing. But they bring all this energy, and I think it makes the event that much better.
Oh, and I've got some good veteran characters that are part of my Skele crew.
Nice.
Skeletons
Nice.
that are running. Those skeletons running around. Probably one of my favorite little costume groups in the parade. It's such a simple idea, but that the Skele crew are so funny, and if you just watch the stuff they do along the whole parade route, they're a blast.
They're a little sassy, is what I
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big fan of the shrimp as well. We had a good time with those guys.
That is the Shrimpettes.
Oh, yes.
There you are. And our Crawdaddies. Yes.
Crawdads, yes.
So the Crawdaddies and Shrimpettes and the King Gator and Queen Gator stilts that are part of the King Gator float unit, they were new last year. When we did the party animals, we had a like a Cajun float, or like a everything had an area where animals would be from, like a bunch of flowers. So we had bees and stuff, right? And so then for the float with like the swamp and everything, we'd come up with the idea of these Shrimpettes and these Crawdaddies and these King Gator. But as soon as I saw them last year, even just the drawings, and then once they came to life, I said these are so Mardi Gras, they need to be part of the event permanently. So let's like pull them in, the next year, and we'll make them part of the King Gator float. So they were actually something, from last year that came out of the theme that was just too perfect to let go.
Yeah.
And especially since we do like the Bayou Boil here. And so they'll hang out there on the weekends, and it's hysterical as they try to get people to vote, for what their favorite food over there is, the shrimps or the crawdads. It's great.
That's awesome. Well, new this year, you have the tribute store for Mardi Gras happening for the first time. And, of course, we all love Horror Nights here. We're huge Horror Nights fans.
Definitely.
So what made you guys open a tribute store for Mardi Gras? And is this a hint to something we might see in Horror Nights 30?
So, well, I mean, the success of the tribute store, let's see, we've had the tribute store for Halloween Horror Nights, but it's been the last 2 years that the theming inside has like really gone all out to be its own sort of immersive experience when you go into the tribute store.
25 was a little bit as well.
Yes, yeah. But now, in the last 2 years, I was like, man, the tribute store looks like another house. Like it's really gone all out in the detail.
Yeah.
So they just wanted to. It's one of those things like you find something that works, it's a success, and it kind of is like you throw a rock into the pond, right, and it ripples out. So they wanted to pull that idea through into Mardi Gras, and actually instead of just walking into a merchandise store, but to actually have an experience that you go into. So now when you go in, like the very opening foyer, it's like this 1920s kind of jazz speakeasy vibe, and then boom, you're right into like this New Orleans graveyard. If you've ever been to New Orleans, those old graveyards, there's all those graveyard tours and everything else. Like it's such a part of the visuals that you'll see there. And then, of course, it goes into like the Bayou Swamp. And if you're a fan of graveyard games from Halloween last year, and you wish you could have taken pictures of yourself in there, well, you kind of can, because there's a lot of graveyard games that is in the tribute store now.
I noticed a thing or two. So cool.
I felt some dead waters in there, but
and then the next part was the Bayou Room. Yep.
Yeah.
We walked in the other day and it was just like, it smells of Halloween Horror Nights in here. And all the conversations that were going on in the tribute store were all about Halloween Horror Nights.
So it's like a nice little celebration of what's happening now, and then and then a preview of what's coming. Yeah.
Cool.
You've started the decade off with a bang, so why not continue the party with Mardi Gras at Universal Orlando Resort? Celebrating their 25th year of the event, join us for this fan favourite with special food, parades, and even weekend concerts featuring the likes of TLC, the All-American Rejects, Diana Ross, and more. And yes, there will be beads. This event runs nightly from February 1st to April 2nd and is free with your daytime park admission, so there's no better time to plan your next Universal Orlando Resort vacation. Be sure to let the experts at Mouse & Muggle Travel Company take care of all your travel needs. Earning the distinction of being an earmarked agency specializing in Disney destinations, as well as becoming one of the first to be named a U Preferred agency with Universal Parks and Resorts vacations. Mouse & Muggle Travel Company will ensure you receive top-rate customized service. Just visit mouseandmuggle.com to fill out a non-obligation quote request, or send your request to info@mouseandmuggle.com. Their team can take care of you no matter where in the world you go. With a flick of their wand and a little bit of pixie dust, the process will be so seamless. Some might even say it's simply magical.
Now, big foodie here. And food obviously is a huge part of Universal Orlando.
Yes, we have our lanyards.
Yes.
I am trying to eat everything. Just you've got to do your part, haven't you?
I recommend it.
Yeah. So, from the awesome City Walk restaurants to the theme parks to, of course, Halloween Horror Nights, Mardi Gras is no exception. Now, you've introduced the Carnival Around the World tent this year, which I have sampled from.
Yes.
Now, how much do you feel this brings to the event food offerings?
So, the first thing you ask, what is this? What can we expect for the 25th celebration of Mardi Gras? And to me, it's the biggest thing. It's such a more complete event that touches so many more things, and the food is like a good example of that. Yeah. So we've had the French Quarter before. We have like our traditional foods, like which my favorites I think are the beignet and the crab etouffee. Those are the best. But then so one of the things they added was a food booth that does carnivals, from around the universe as it is. So it's like all these, whether it's Brazil or for a few weeks, so they'll do Germany, we did Trinidad and Tobago. So you can try, especially if you live nearby, you can come back and try different carnival foods from around the world. And then it expands out. Like Schwab's just down the corner from us, they've got the ice cream floats, which I think are the things I'm like the most excited about, that they've actually got floats like the Sunken City of Atlantis that mirror the color schemes and stuff of our actual float.
Awesome.
And the Twosome's got the Mardi Gras shakes and stuff. And so it's the event has rippled out, and that's really what's I think changed over the 25 years, right? When it started, it was on the weekends, and then now we run 7 days a week, 62 days this year, I believe. And it just it keeps growing out and becoming this more full, complete event. And the food is a huge part of that.
Definitely.
And it's so good.
And who doesn't like food?
Is it the soft shell crab that's in there this week?
Yes, I had that the other night.
So good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yes.
So you've kind of hinted at it already there. I want your top 3 food items from this year.
Well, I'm always going to put the beignets and the crab etouffee up there. I mean, I love that soft-shelled crab, but if, after I catch prey to walking back, it's very hard for me not to grab a plate of gator bites on the way out.
To try them tonight.
Yeah.
Those are great to watch a band with, too.
Yeah. Oh, yes, they are.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lee asks you every year, and we already talked about it a little bit. We know your heart always with Horror Nights. Have you managed to sneak anything Horror Nights besides the tribute store into the parade this year?
We got our skeletons.
Yep.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So that was like a big one, that when we were figuring out what would be, as part of that float. And then that's the Battle of the Booty float. Again, best name float. And that one was a big deal for me because my career as a director started choreographing theatrical violence like that. That's the first work I've started doing professionally in 2000. As a director, was being a fight director and choreographing fight stuff. I've done the fights for many a Romeo and Juliet, my friends. Many.
Okay.
That thing happens a lot around this country. But so to actually be able to have a float where I could, when we were talking to Current Studio, going, hey, we've had performers on here before, but I want them to do stuff. Can we make something so I can actually have people sword fighting up here and like slinging some steel? And of course we had some of that last year with some staged violence with our Zombieland Scare Zone.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like, Blake likes that theatrical violence and like pulling that stuff through and be able to actually get that into Mardi Gras. But of course, it's like it's a fun way. So like that was as I was choreographing it, I was like, remember, like this is like it's Errol Flynn. You're not fighting to the death. It's a Mardi Gras party, right?
Yeah.
It's sort of this like fun, flashy thing. And then when we were like, what could be on there? And the costume designer came back and said, I have this idea. I know it's kind of, I feel like people are going to think it's cheesy, but I don't know. And then he showed me the Skeleton Crew, and I was like, this is amazing. And they might get the most pictures with people out in the streets, because I guarantee people are going to get in these outfits and just have fun, and that is like exactly what they do.
Awesome.
And then, of course, I always have flame every year somewhere in Hollywood, so I got to get my flame and my fog effects up in here, too.
Well, we kind of already talked about it when we were on the parade float last night. That confetti cannon is pure Halloween Horror Night smell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. And some of them, like King Gator's got fog, and then the CO2 through the nostrils. And then you've got some of the flame effects that are on the X marks the spot. And then they always have the bubble machine.
Yes.
As well. This is part of the, it was part of the Ocean Float last year.
It was on Atlantis, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, we saw him
This
floating
go
behind
around.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, as this is the 25th year of the event, other than the tribute store and food tent, what can frequent visitors expect from this anniversary Mardi Gras event?
I'll say on the side of the concerts, to start something we hadn't really hit on yet.
Yeah.
It's like the most. To me, it's like the most diverse lineup we've had. Like, there's something for everybody.
Yeah.
That's actually something our group doesn't. The creative development group doesn't really know about until usually it's announced. So when it was announced to the public, who the talent booking group had picked for this year's concert, you could hear everybody in their offices go, "It's up, it's up, it's up!" And everybody clicks on the website. Everybody's yelling out like their favorite act that they're gonna get to see. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody had a different one. Mine was live this past weekend because that's Throwing Copper is my high school years. There it is. I mean, like, so I was so excited that live was coming in. But the
Roots killed it.
It's like
the Roots kicked it off, man. Yeah, but
I do have to ask, did they do this? Did they do the fan?
They didn't.
Oh, they should have done. They should
the
have
safety
done.
spiel?
Yeah,
I was hoping that they would show up on the ride at one point and just do it live for everybody. That would have been amazing.
But like, it's that. Like, yeah, you kicked off.
They killed it. Yeah.
Yeah, you kick with them. You got Louis Fonsi. You got like Marshmello. It's such a diverse like lineup. There's something for everybody.
Yep.
Like when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And when we were doing the media event and announcing it was funny hearing people scream out their favorite like concert. And because there weren't repeats, I looked at my boss. I was like, I think they did a good job picking the lineup because like everybody was so happy about like different groups and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
Again, it's not on it. I'm going to put it in. So we rode a parade float last night. Thank you, Ali. It was
thank you
amazing. It was
so
amazing.
much.
Blake, we've talked about it before, how much Mardi Gras gives a guest an experience, not only to experience it from the outside, but to experience it from the inside as well, and it makes it so different. The energy, when we were on the parade floats like just backstage, getting everyone hyped was awesome.
Unreal, wasn't it?
And you get to have those fun bead captains that are on the float.
Yeah.
Fox.
We had
Yes,
Fox.
shout out
We
to
had
Fox.
Fox. Shout out to
He
Fox
was
on the Atlantis float.
amazing.
You were awesome.
Yeah.
But that's even how we're doing that's changed a bit too, because so we first opened it up to all the to get on the floats to be able to ride them. We opened it to annual pass holders, and then after that you actually use the app on the day of to come in if you want to ride a float. So you actually, once you're inside the park, you can use the app to get into a virtual queue. So that way you don't have to
Thank you for that. That's
wait,
way
right?
better.
Huge,
way
right? Then
better
you
than
can
waiting
go
all day. Yeah.
Do stuff. You don't have to sit around not having fun. You can you can enjoy everything.
The funny juxtaposition was we saw it on Tuesday night as guests in the crowd. So you're like, give me the beads. And it's like feverish.
Yeah.
From the other side, it's like the zombie apocalypse. It's like, give me beads.
There's your Halloween elements.
It's kind of already baked into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had some friends from out of town that came in this week as well, and they had never experienced. They were like, that was wild. They were like, I had so much fun riding the float. Yeah. It's which is kind of fun too, because it's kind of like two ways to experience. Like, come see the parade, and then actually be a part of the parade. And that's the thing too. Like, people. It's always funny, like a lot of times, because our parade comes out by the Pantage Theater where Horror Makeup Show is, and it also exits there, right? So a lot of times I watch from that area, and I'll watch the parade as it comes out, and then I'll hop backstage so I can talk to people on the way back out as they're exiting. And the guests are always like, "Thank you, that was so much fun." But you're like, "No, but like, thank you," because the part of the Mardi Gras experience that like we can't replicate without you are all those people on the floats that are slinging the beads and being part of the party and having a good time. Like, so the guests actually help complete the whole Mardi Gras picture.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. It really is. It's just, we had so much fun last night.
I don't think I stopped dancing the entire route.
Yeah.
I was singing along.
My kiddo came on opening night, and by the time that we were done carrying her, she weighed twice her weight because of all the beads that were on top of her.
Well, if you're bead throwing as well, you got to space your beads out, because the look on small children at the end, if you have no beads, is the most devastating thing. I'm sorry. We threw all our beads already.
If you can line it so you're slinging out like the last ones right as you exit,
You're the
that's a good
heroes.
job.
Yeah.
To say we watched it on Tuesday night, and we watched it from just there, and then ran down to the exit, and they were still slinging beads. So we got to that point on the parade float last night, and we had nothing. We're like,
We were animals, to be
We
honest.
jumped the gun a little bit.
Yeah, Fox told
It
us we
was-
were the first ones to run out of beads this year. So
Amazing.
But
you're
there were-
welcome, everyone. You're welcome.
There were a lot on our float. There was 28 of us.
yes.
So that was a lot
And
of
you
people
were on what
share
float
beads.
again?
Atlantis.
Atlantis.
Right.
It was a blast.
Awesome.
So much
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
But
You really appreciated the glitter, didn't you, Chris?
Yeah, I was still wearing it this morning a little bit, so thank you for all the glitter. Yeah.
Have you looked closely at the redone King Gator float? Because each scale is a different color, like done by hand on the. Like, yeah.
Wow.
I will have to go back and look at
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
now.
Yes.
That's completely different.
I'm wanting to see the parade from the other side tonight so I can get more photographs. So I've got an all-round collection of photographs because I can't wait to get home and blow them up and look at them properly.
I
As
can't
well
wait till you get home in 3 weeks from now. You realize there's still glitter somewhere.
Oh, I have no doubt. Christmas,
Yes.
I'll be finding it.
Yep, absolutely.
In fact, I'll probably bag it up and bring it back for you for next year.
Oh, it doesn't leave. Yeah. It stays. And everybody that works the event was like, you guys are going to have so much fun. It's like a big, like you said, they're having so much fun on the street. I'm like, it's just a big party. That's your job. But I apologize in advance. Your cars will be full of glitter for the next year. That's just how that's going to work. Yeah.
Worth it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we managed to get down for it this year. You know, we talked to you, I think, twice, about it, Blake, at this point, and actually getting to experience it firsthand. It was something Tracy's been harping on at me for years and years, and I'm like, it looks okay. And then the more it started to get closer to coming, I was like, I'm actually really excited about this now.
You're welcome.
And it was everything I wanted it to be and more.
Well, that's great. And this year feels very good. It feels very special. Like there's something about the 25th celebration floating in the air, but like everybody's just, the crowd's jazzed, the performers are jazzed. It's it's a really good vibe out there.
Yeah. It's a really well-rounded event as well. It's, as you say, the performers are on point, the floats are amazing, the food's great, and it's just, everywhere you turn, you just see people dancing and smiling and having fun.
Yeah.
And the bands, I could stand and watch them and listen to them play.
The ones from New Orleans, the bands that have on the streets.
Really appreciate those.
Love me some brass.
Oh, yeah. And those dance parties are a blast.
Oh,
they
yeah.
have them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And those bands, we have them rotate throughout the entire run. We have a few bands come in. And it's great because you'll watch the one group be so good with the cast, and they work out all this fun stuff with the dance parties, and you go, oh, I hate to see that group go. And the next group comes in, and they just invite them in and start a whole new party. It's so great.
Awesome.
Well, I guess that's going to wrap it up, Blake.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This has been amazing.
I can't wait to see you at Christmas, right,
Yes.
Tracy?
No, October. We're October 1st.
Right.
October this year, November next year.
Boom, got you. Okay, so back for HHN, and then Christmas, holidays for the holidays.
That's enough time for me to get the divorce papers from Lee so I can marry the Grinch.
Gotcha.
So it's a wedding next year.
I got it covered. I'm a notary. I can get you married.
Excellent.
There you go.
Well, I'm going to embarrass somebody now. 'Cause
Ali, bridesmaid. Awesome.
Boom. Done.
Bob, you could be a bridesmaid as well if you want to. I think you'd rock a frog.
well, that's all right. So you're apparently marrying the Grinch. I'm going to embarrass our daughter who's just joined us. She wants to marry Kitty White.
Yes.
So there you go. Mardi Gras continue until April 2nd. If you are anywhere near Orlando, get down. It is amazing.
Run.
Definitely check it out. Yeah, it's so worth. And the fact that it's part of your day admission.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
Don't give them any ideas, Lee. Stop right now.
No man, come on, this party's for everybody. Come on in.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Tracy, Chris, Darren, this has been amazing.
Yeah.
It's been awesome.
Bucket list
I
item ticked
just want to
off.
be able to do this every week now. It's just so easy.
Yeah, right.
Just move to the States. That's it. Yeah.
But I did reach out to you, Blake, before we recorded this because we wrap up every show with a Universal Is. And of course, if anyone else wants to join, all you've got to do is email us what you think Universal is in 3 words or less and email it to us at podcast@uopodcast.com. And I tasked Blake with this one. So Blake,
does this finish us off for the show? All right. Well, first, thank you for letting me be with you guys together for the first time. For me, Universal is my creative family.
See you next week, guys.
Cut, print. That's a wrap for another episode of the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Never miss a show by subscribing on Apple Podcasts and leave us a rating and review while you're there. Not an Apple user? You can listen on Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, or your podcatcher of choice. Email us any questions or comments to podcast@uuopodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, Instagram, and Pinterest. Just search UUO Podcast. Keep up with the latest news, rumors, and updates on our blog at uuopodcast.com. Thanks for listening. See you next week.